This golf club has had that much hype around it. They are sold out already, but I'm told they'll come back into stock very soon. Now, what club are we talking about? If I can ever get it out of the box, it is, of course, the PXG. What PXG is it, you ask? It is. Right, so I tested the full set of these irons and absolutely loved them. PXG have sent this through to test. Now, it's sold out already. It's sold out in record time, actually, for PXG. And it is the 0317X driving iron. I think I got that right. Someone just walked into that pose. I hope he's all right. I think he was looking at us. But 0317X utility iron. I think this looks incredible. Let's get on the golf course. Let's see what it's like. And also, we have had it in the simulator already, so we can see exactly what it's like for numbers as well. Okay, so I hear what you're all saying. Just what exactly is this sold out club? Who's it for? And why would anyone want to use it? So it's basically a continuation of PXG's 0317T irons.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
The hollow-bodied, beautiful, amazing performance irons. Today's the perfect day to test this because it's very, very blustery and windy. So we're here on the first at Woolley Park Golf Club. Quite a long tee shot that you need. You don't need a driver, but you're going to want something that has forgiveness, something that's going to get you an element of ball speed and something that you can play versatile shots with. Tick, 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 I think. I've tested it in the studio already and really, really enjoyed it. The numbers we'll get to in this video, but looking down at it, the one thing I'll say is it's not perfect looking. So I'll put a couple of stills on screen now for you. There's a ton of offset on this, or in my head there's a ton of offset. That for me makes it feel like it might potentially want to work left on you. Now if your bad shot is right, that's a perfect look. The top line is gorgeous, the blade length is pretty much perfect, and looking down it, apart from that element of offset, I would say, it's really good. You can actually see the weighting behind the club, so it does give you a bit of confidence in that regard. Pulled that one a little bit left, but for the first swing of the day, I want to take that all day. That's just up the left side of the fairway. Nice ground interaction. What I'm actually looking for from this is forgiveness, because I think this is for the people who don't want hybrids, who don't like hybrids. Whenever I hit a hybrid, I top it. I don't want a 7-wood. I want something like this. It's going to be nice and forgiving for me. That was me, not the club, but interesting how that offset potentially is making me think, oh, I don't want to hit it left. And I did hit it left and the ball's gone left. So let's go again. This one's off the deck this time. First one was teed up. Absolutely gorgeous. The one thing I'll say there is a lovely, low, boring ball flight. That's bang smack in the middle of the fairway. That's absolutely perfect. The turf interaction was everything that I want from this golf club. And we do talk about the numbers. It was a very interesting session inside because it was very hot or cold. And that's what I quite like when I'm testing golf clubs, because none of us are perfect. None of us are as consistent as we would like to be. And one of the things I really enjoy about this club is that bottom groove is very ping-like, as you would imagine. And that is designed to help with lie angle in the factory, but actually it really can help you square that club face up as well. So there's that to think about. Let's go one more. Let's see if we can potentially hit. Why is the tornado start as soon as we've got down to the tee? Let's see if we can potentially play one a little bit right to left in the air, because for me, that is the dream with this club. I want to be able to hit a bit of a draw. So we're going to start it tight over this path. The wind is off the left, so it's not an ideal wind for it. But try and play that shot. Started a little bit further left than I wanted it to. That was a terrible strike out of the toe. And if Bobby zooms in, you'll see that is still in the middle of the fairway. So it's quite a wide fairway to aim at. But if this is your shot 4 off the tee when it's a little bit early and you know you kind of need to hit the shot, the forgiveness element might potentially be there. And that might be why this club sold out so damn quickly. Let's go and play some more. So interestingly, we look at the dispersions here of these shots, and it's not the tightest of dispersion actually. We have 1 in the fairway, 2 in the fairway. You can see the actual distance difference there. So front to back dispersion, quite heavy, but that was a big difference in quality of strike. That one was absolutely pummeled, a lovely kind of low fade. That one was a really toey shot. And the first one that we hit has actually gone quite a long way. It was a bit of a low pull, first shot of the day, so I can forgive myself for that. But hollow-bodied irons, you do generally see a little bit lower spin rate, potentially a bit more forgiveness, and generally, a big bag came off there, and I don't know what I was doing with it, but generally, a more powerful ball flight. And having mentioned earlier on in this video about versatility, that's one of the key areas that I really want to talk about, because the beauty about the 0317T irons is just that. Yes, you have those gorgeous good looks. If you weren't a proper golfer, or if you're not a proper golfer, or if you're someone who doesn't really understand the concept behind how clubs look, you would think that's just a gorgeous bladed sheet of metal and it looks glorious. I think that's what PXG have started doing really well. That's what TaylorMade kicked off with the P790. Cobra took it on with the Forge Tech. Ping took it on with the i500. Now PXG are making a fantastic job of it. Can I play a little low stinger down towards that bunker with this club? Potentially. I honestly think a graphite shaft in here would help maybe make it a little bit more movable. That was an absolutely terrible shot. Still what I wanted to do was a little bit low, but that was a really heely strike. So no club's going to be perfect, and that's what I like to talk about in these videos. When I'm testing these clubs and I hit some really, really good shots and also some terrible shots like that one, it's more of a real world situation, a real world scenario as to how this club is going to work for you. So notice I keep throwing it towards the camera because I massively think one of the best things about this club is the looks behind it. So let's try again. Try and get a proper strike out of this one. There we go. Those two shots are chalk and cheese, and that is down the throat of that bunker, and it was the exact ball flight that I wanted. Turf interaction wise, the ball was just resting on the turf here, and I've took a lovely little shallow divot there. So turf interaction, I always think it's important, turf interaction. A lot of people don't really care for it. A lot of people don't think it's that important. I personally think it is, because I want a good feeling iron, I want a good sounding iron, and that crisp turf impact is key to that. Let's go again. Let's see now. Play a nice high one. I'm going to have to clean that because it is winter here in the UK. Can't wait to see how people get on with these, because they've obviously sold a lot of them for them to sell out so quickly. High bomb now towards that same bunker. The ball's sat down a little bit. Again, a touch left. It's a lovely shot. It's a penetrating shot. It's a powerful shot, but it's just left of where I want it to be. Is that down to that little bit, potentially too much for me, of offset? Maybe. Let's jump in the studio. Let's see how this club did perform for mishits and for those absolute cannons. And then we'll come back out here and see what it's like off the fairway. And you see, I can almost ignore this PXG 0317X's not perfect looks, because I almost think that's how it's designed. That's how it's supposed to look. It's supposed to look a little bit more usable, a little bit more forgiving, a little bit more for everybody. And when we start to look at the numbers for this club, I think we'll all agree that they kind of speak for themselves, especially on those mishits, that people potentially don't strike that well. I hit that awful, and it's still 200 yards. And I think we can all agree that you want that element of forgiveness no matter how you hit this club. It still feels good. It still, to be fair, when you look down, it looks pretty spectacular looking. For me, the only thing I don't really like is, as I've mentioned, that amount of offset. You can see my bad shot is usually left, so that would be why. Can we straighten that out? There we go. That's the shot that you want with this club. Pitching around 200, releasing out nicely. I almost couldn't tell where I hit that on the face, because it's not a huge club regards of feedback, but it is a club where you do just get exactly the kind of numbers I imagine. I mean, I've nearly missed that. I've nearly missed that, and it's up there with the other one. So forgiveness-wise for a long iron, if you can't hit a hybrid, if you do not want a 7-wood, you want something sleeker looking in the bag, you want something that just makes you enjoy those shots a little bit more, could this be the club, and could this be the amount of forgiveness that you want? I'm starting to already come to terms with just how this club looks down at the ball. And that's the shot that you would pay a lot of money for. That felt spectacular. And that makes me think just how powerful this club could be in the right hands with the right swing. I've got this fitted in my exact specs from PXG that matches the 0317T irons that I got on with so much. We have that hollow body design. We have all the technology that's in those. Potentially here. Oh my. Stop it, James. That's a high fade as well. That's a high fade pitching at 220, 225 in the middle of the bullseye. You can tell that we've almost treated this as a little bit of a warm-up as well, and I quite like to do that when testing clubs because I want to see just how potentially I get on when I'm not swinging at my best, and when I'm swinging early in the day, it's not my best. As we start to get through the motions here, you can really start to see just how this club, potentially, the story might not be forgiveness, it might just be brute force and power. Right, we need the forgiveness there because that one was terrible. I've hit that so bad, but again, I can't tell you how bad I've hit that. I think I've got it out the top groove. If you need a club for off the tee, where you just want to keep it in play, you almost want a club you can rely on. Is this the club in 2024 that's cheaper than a TaylorMade, Titleist, Callaway or Ping equivalent? I never thought we'd be saying that with PXG. And when I do look at these numbers combined, yeah, there's some massive ones in there, but what impresses me the most is how bad I've hit some of them and how well they've done. Spinning at 3,000, which is a nice controlled spin rate for this club. And when we think about the length of the courses we play as well, how far do you need to hit it off the tee? Like, I've given this probably the best test I've ever given a long iron when it comes to surface area of the club face. And it still seems to be doing okay. And then you hit that one and you're like, yep, bag it up, put it in there please, thanks for coming, let's get back out on the golf course, because that one's on 240 yards. So the most impressive thing about those numbers is the mishits. For a mishit with a driving iron to still go that distance, I think it's quite eye-opening, and what I really enjoy about the club is that big wide sole. You can see that that potentially is why I am enjoying hitting it off the ground so much, even in wintry conditions here in the UK where we have these kind of mats. Really enjoying the interaction and being able to hit shots like that. Even put off by the wind a little bit, I'm hitting really nice solid shots. And potentially for the summer as well, if you're looking for a fairway finder, when open season comes and everyone's looking for that driving iron they can play the Stinger with, they can keep it in play with, but they still want the element of forgiveness. I keep saying it, this keeps ticking the boxes. I don't know what more to say about it really, other than if you're in the market for a driving iron, go and try the 0317 X iron. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Smash that subscribe button if you've enjoyed this video. And apart from that, I'll see you all exactly the same time tomorrow. Don't be late. Bye. And the beauty about those two, check out that consistency. Yes, please. That's all I want from a club like this. Consistency is key.